Hello and welcome to the channel everybody. In this video I want to talk about the Oculus Quest 2 for sim racing once again. It's had quite a few updates, quite a few features, and we just want to see if it's any better for sim racing now in V30. So a few months ago, actually maybe more than a few months ago, it was late last year, I think I did a video named "Should you buy the Oculus Quest 2 for sim racing?" And pretty much the end result of that video was I personally didn't like it for most games. Some of the lower graphic games, maybe like iRacing and things like that, it was okay for, but I found games like Assetto Corsa Competizione and that kind of thing, it didn't look as good as it could have. I found even my Rift S and all that looked a little bit better. Actually, not a little bit better, a lot better. But since then, we've had some advances like AirLink and 120 hertz and 90 hertz and additional features that should effectively make this better. And while it may have, for sim racing it doesn't matter. It's still got the same problem it did for sim racing. If you're playing some first-person shooters and all that, this is fine, this is good, no problem. VR chat, whatever. But for sim racing, I still find that this is just not the headset to buy for sim racing. I think you need a proper DisplayPort and USB connection rather than just the USB connection that this comes with. You have too many problems with the compression of the computer and then sending through USB, then the headset decompresses it, and with the very fast moving walls and surroundings and all that, it just can't do it fast enough and it doesn't look good. And that part hasn't changed at all since V23 I think when I did my initial review. We're now up to V30. I keep getting asked on some of my old videos, is this better with V26? Is this better with V27? I am listening. I do try it with every update. I do try it with every version. It's just not getting better for sim racing. Better for everything else, yes. Better for sim racing, no. Now, back when I did my initial video on this, I did try it with the virtual desktop. And virtual desktop has advanced a little bit since then and has become a bit better. And doing sim racing on the Oculus Quest 2 with virtual desktop now, I find is actually much better. It's probably twice as good as it used to be, but still not as good as my Rift S with the proper physical connection to the computer. And that's going through the Wi-Fi 6 connection I have in my computer to the Wi-Fi 6 router that I have now. I initially did the review with a normal router, but I now have Wi-Fi 6 router, and yeah, not a big difference. But recently Oculus has come out with a new update called AirLink, which is effectively like the virtual desktop with the Wi-Fi, fully wireless. I tried AirLink and it just didn't work as well as what virtual desktop does. And that's because Oculus use a thing called ichronous synchronous space warp thing, and that looks terrible in my opinion. So I actually go and turn that off through the Oculus debug tool. I don't like the ASW at all. Just turn it off for sim racing. It's terrible. But the virtual desktop version, I can't remember what the virtual desktop version is called, but the virtual desktop version I actually prefer on, because the virtual desktop version I actually really like. And effectively what it's meant to do is it cuts the frames down a little bit but fills it in so it can give you better performance, and it still anticipates the next frame and just fills it in. And end of the day, Oculus version, terrible. Virtual desktop version, good. But still not as good as a proper connection through Rift S, HP Reverb G2, Valve Index, whatever proper hardwired VR headset you can buy. The USB connection is not good enough, regardless of what people say. Because I have had a lot of people in my videos say, oh, this is amazing compared to my old generation headset that has a massive screen door effect and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, maybe to those older generations, but to any of the newer stuff, and even the Oculus Rift S, which is, I don't know if I'd call that new generation, but it's mid-generation. I still prefer the Rift S, like hands down. Less latency, in my opinion, a clearer picture. Yes, it does have a little bit more of a screen door effect than this, but the graphics are actually physically better when hooked up to my 3800 XT with the 5700 graphics card. And I mean, the frames are fine. Like, I've done some frame testing, and it's over 70 FPS on the VR headset. It's not a problem. So it's not struggling. The headset just can't keep up with sim racing, because this processor in this is what has to process and decompress the image coming from the computer, and it just can't do that fast enough to a great degree, unless you're using a really old game with really old graphics like iRacing. But a lot of the newer games with better graphics, it can't decompress that image properly. But anyway, I just wanted to do that update for you because it was one of my most popular videos, and it's something people were still wondering, and that video is a little bit outdated now. So this updates it. Things haven't really changed, despite the fact of multiple updates. So thanks for watching this video, everybody. Hit that like button if you liked it, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video.